1. And by now you should have all completed the starter, which was the cold task for this new unit of work. So don't worry if there are any questions there that you didn't know. That's the whole point of a cold task, so that we can see where your gaps in your learning are and we can plug those during our unit of work. Okay, so our main task today, so we're looking at reading and interpreting line graphs. So first of all, we're going to have a whistle-stop tour about what different graphs are. So what is a bar graph? What is a pictogram? What is a pie chart? What's a table? Who can have any ideas about what those might be? Yes?
A bar graph is where you've got thin, like, rectangles coming up from the bottom line and showing you like how many of something is.
Okay, so it includes data. Well done. And we're going to come across maybe some vocabulary that will help us as we go along our journey. So like the day where you said on the bottom line, we're going to come across some of the vocabulary that will precisely describe those features. Yes?
A bar graph also has axes, y-axis and x-axis.
Oh, well done. So we know about the axis as well. Excellent. So some of you might have had some experience already. Maybe you've come across some of this data handling tools in science, for example, or other areas of your work. Okay, so some of them is a bit cross-curricular, so it's really good. Okay, let's move on. Let's have a quick whistle-stop tour. So here we go, bar graphs. Here's 2 examples. They're a bit small, but I know you can see them at home. So here, like William suggested, yes, you definitely can see those rectangles of information going up. Here you can see that they're all different colours because they represent different things. We've got the x-axis, like you described, which is the one going across, and the y-axis, which is the one going vertically. So we've got horizontal x, a vertical y-axis. This one, we've got the bars going up from the x-axis. However, this one I selected purposely to show you that it doesn't always have to be presented that way. You can have bars going from the y-axis and having the numbers along the x-axis. Okay, so there are alternative ways. Okay, let's take a look at the next slide. Oops, what's happened there? Let's scroll down. Okay, so pictograms. Okay, you might have remembered some of these. You might think, actually, I remember those from Key Stage 1 when we did favourite fruits and things like that, and having a picture for each fruit. But be careful, they're not always as simple as you think, because sometimes the emblem can be represented more than one. So here, for example, the fruits are representing 2 children that like that type. Here, the cupcakes are representing, each one is worth 6. So interesting. And even statistics now, I've seen on some news reports and things and such like, they even show like population of Britain, and they see like a whole person, well that could be 1 million. Okay, so the whole interpretation of those pictograms are very different. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. This one's about pie charts. What's special about pie charts? Yeah.
They're shown in circles.
Yep, so you can see a representation of a circle and how that's then being divided up. Yeah, so here are some examples. So this one you might recognise from all the, like, healthy plate, where you've got sections in different colours and different foods on. This one you've got the same information, I think, but instead of pictures you've got your text on there. This one again is colour coded, so you've got some data here which is a key that helps you understand that data. This one, how much water do we use? This one's got percentages actually as part of the pie graph. This one I never came across until I started looking at it. It's very interesting. It's called a donut pie graph. So more food. I love the idea of food. Pie chart, pies, eating it. Okay. Right, let's moving on. So that's our pie chart. Okay, and last of all we've got our tables. And here you've got different types of tables. Some of you are nodding, you might recognise some, especially when you're looking at data, for example, when you're looking at science information you're collecting. So we've got our tally charts here, and of course then we've got our frequency meaning how often something happens. Here we've got our grades and studies, so you've got 2 elements there about different students, different study times and the grade, and seeing if there's a correlation between the 2. Here you've got drivers and their annual mileage, so comparing 2 years. And this one, which you'll be familiar with, are the timetables, of course. The good old bus timetable or the train times. So that's an important way of getting information. Okay, so today looking at graphs. We've already said we're going to be focusing on line graphs. We've got to read them and understand them. So let's look at what do we know. Okay, so looking at this graph, what do we know? What's on the x-axis? Yeah.
The seconds.
Yep, so we've got time. So look, you've got 10 and 20, so that's going up in seconds. Not very long at all. What's on the y-axis? Yes.
The excitement.
Yeah, level of excitement. So you've got 50% and 100%. So if you were looking at that, well, what does 50% mean? It's like halfway, you're half excited, and then you're fully excited with 100. Okay, so we're looking at now all of you to be participants in this lesson. So you at home as well. So take a look. We're going to look at, I'm going to track this graph, and you on your face are going to show me how excited you are. So you're about 50-50, no, less than 50-50 here, 50%. So you're going to start off here, so maybe a neutral face. Then you get happier, so see that smile creeping in. Oh no, then we're going down. Smile's going down to maybe a grimace. And going up again, smiling, and you're ecstatic up here, ear to ear, like it's your birthday. Okay, well done. So I hope you've had fun doing that one at home. We've got another graph, another one, but this time it's not happy or excitement, it's surprise. Okay, so for this one, oh, look at this shape of it. So again, we've got time on the x-axis, we've got element of surprise on the y-axis. Are you ready for this one, everybody? Off we go then. So surprise, not very surprised here. And then, oh, good surprising. And then, oh, really surprised. Okay, so really good, well done. Okay, so here, of course, graphs can be used in a way that converts information. And I know later on you're going to be doing a bit more work about conversion graphs in particular. So for example, this example on this slide shows differences between centimetres and inches, and how you, on a ruler sometimes you have centimetres on one side and inches on the other, and how one measurement can be equal to another. So that's what the conversion chart is for. Often you get it with measurements such as grams and pounds and ounces. Okay, so lots of, or miles and kilometres, okay, so lots of different ways in which you need to convert things, or it could be even money, pounds into rubles. Okay. This slide we're looking at information and looking at how we can understand the line graphs, and I think this slide will help us a bit more when we come to do our first activity. So in a moment I would like you all to have a go at this activity. There are 2 on your sheet or slides at home, and then on the next video we're going to be coming back to look at this and unpick it and see what strategies we have used to get the information. Okay, have fun.